everybody. It's 12 o'clock again and I am in the group. It's a Thursday and the sun is shining here. I don't know where you are in the world, but the sun is shining. I don't think it's set to last much past today. I think it's due to rain again probably tomorrow, but I'm loving it. I've got the sun on me, and I sat outside this morning and I had a cup of tea outside, and you feel that warmth on your skin, and it just puts you in a better mood, doesn't it? It really makes you feel good. And so I'm really happy today. As you can see, I'm very excited. Okay, so I wanted to come in and share with you another recovery tip, and it's one that I kind of explain to my clients that I work with, and I may have mentioned it in the group before, but just in case I haven't, I'm going to let you know now. When I was kind of ill, when I was sort of like caught up in the whole things of anorexia, bulimia, my eating disorder, you have very much negative way of thinking, and you have a low opinion of yourself, and you often project that onto other people. And you have like this pair of glasses that I like to call it, that you kind of that you wear, that you kind of almost filter, how you see the world based on these negative kind of thoughts about yourself, these negative beliefs. And when I was ill, and probably actually a lot of my life, I used to go into, I kind of shied away from going into sort of like the trendy sort of high street shops and that, because I just didn't feel right going into them. And there's usually sort of like a shop assistant as you walk in, and I always felt if they smiled at me, it was like I automatically thought, oh, that's a pity smile. They're thinking that, you're too, basically, what are you doing in here? You may as well turn around now. You're too fat, you're too ugly. Nothing in this shop is going to fit you. It's all far too nice for you. You don't deserve to be in a shop like this, to wear these sort of clothes. Nothing's going to fit you. Nothing's going to look good on you. So just turn around now. And that was in the space of like 2 seconds, after somebody had smiled at me. So what I encourage people to do now is to look at the facts, and to imagine you were in a courtroom and you are, almost like, if you have that negative thought, like I would hundreds, thousands of times a day, some kind of negative thought in going through your head, imagine kind of catching hold of it, and then kind of almost imagining that you're having to explain to a judge in a courtroom that, this is true. And so, you'd almost be sort of like have to provide the evidence, the facts behind that, based on one smile. Can you imagine trying to convince a judge all of those thoughts that are going on through your head based on one smile? And when we do it when we kind of think about it like that, it just sort of seems to be incredible how we can think. But it's perfectly normal, it's perfectly natural when we're putting ourselves down all the time, when we're feeling crap about ourselves. Because when we're feeling crap about ourselves, we have a lower opinion of ourselves. It's very easy to put that on other people and assume that other people see us the way that we do, but they don't. It's just the way that our mind works, and it's really hard to get out of that, because again, that opinion, that kind of mind frame, those glasses that we wear, that we use to filter everything, it's no wonder that our mind's going friggin' nuts. It's no wonder, because we're caught up in this whole thing of negativity. So if you concentrate on the facts, if you grasp those negative thoughts before they enter your head even more and make you feel even crapper, if you hold on to it, and examine it, look at it, right, is that based on my opinion of myself, or is that true based on facts? Imagine arguing to the judge. Yeah, but she looked at me. Yeah, but she must have thought this, da 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 da. Can you back it up? Why would she have thought that? Do you know her? No. Then why would she have thought of that? But she must have done. It's ludicrous, isn't it? But that's what we do. I did it for loads of my life, you know, and it's a crappy place to be. It really bloody is. It's horrible. Life can be shit. Sorry, excuse my language, but life was shit. And I hated every minute of it. Every minute of it. And I know what it's like. I don't want you to be in that same place. You know, I really want you to get out of there. I really want to get you out of there. But I can only do that if if you let me help you. And I know it's hard. I really know that it's hard. But all I'm trying to do is, I'm not trying to change anything apart from your mindset. You know, how you feel about yourself. That's it. You know, and I've asked in the group this week about whether, people have anxiety. And everybody that replied said yes, they have huge anxiety, which affects them every day of their life. So imagine if I said to you, okay, it's not about your eating disorder. I'm not looking to change your behaviours that you use or anything like that. I'm not going to go there at all. I might ask you some questions around it, but that's not what I'm going to do. I'm not going to focus on, I'm not looking to take your eating disorder away from you. I'm not looking to take that, that identity that you're kind of like holding on to, that safety net that you're kind of like holding on to, all the reasons why you're scared about kind of somebody, kind of noticing what you're doing and trying to take it away. Because I understand that's scary, because it does make you feel safe. It does make you feel in control. And I totally get that. And I don't want you to be scared about, reaching out for help. And I know that it can be. So I'm trying to think of, I try and work in the most easiest way, the way that really helped me. So if I was to say to you, I'm not going to deal with the eating disorder side of it, not going to go there. But I do want to help you with your negative mindset, your anxiety that you have, dealing with that. Would that sound better? Because that's all I do. That is all I do. And so if that sounds better and more acceptable to you, then think of it that way. I'm not looking to take your eating disorder away from you. That's not how I work. Because, I know that thing about holding on to it with the grim, sort of like with all your might, you're holding on to it. It's not what I do. That's not the way that I work. So if that feels better to you, then, then the whole thing about, sort of like taking your eating disorder away, then think of it that I'm just here to help you change your mindset, to help you get rid of that anxiety that you have. Okay, that's it. That's all I do. So I'm also looking at trying out a group online program, because I know some things were mentioned in the group about the cost of what I do, and I appreciate that it's, for some of you it doesn't feel manageable. Although I would ask the question, what value do you place on feeling better? And I know in some cases it's harder than others, and I get that totally. But I would ask the question about what value that you place on feeling better about yourself. So, for those who would like to work with me, because I know that I asked in the group if cost wasn't an issue, would you go for this? And so they were, yes, definitely. You could all see what kind of help I could provide, which is lovely. So I'm thinking about creating a group online program. Whereas, because I know that it's quite difficult, sort of like in terms of kind of, reaching out, doing the whole one-to-one thing can, again, feel quite scary. And I always sort of like, if I have a client, I always think it's very, very brave of them to, to take that first step, because I do know how hard it is. So anyway, so group online program, I'm thinking of creating one, and it's basically going to be consisting of either a live or a recorded video each week, probably for about 8 weeks. And whereas I go through various things, various sort of like techniques, kind of like teach you loads of skills and things to use, and then I kind of go through, you go through the week and you kind of implement those yourself. But I'm going to be setting up a whole new Facebook group, so away from this anorexia support group, a whole group dedicated purely to support those people on that group program. So I'll be coming in sort of like every morning, every sort of like lunchtime, every evening, just to kind of like to keep you on track, and so that you can kind of like reach out. I mean, you can reach out for support within that group whenever you need to, but it's just about me coming on and just making sure you're okay. So if that sounds like something that you'd be interested in, please do let me know, because it'd be great to hear that feedback, and and whether that would be right for you. And and if it's just like, no, I do not want that would not help me whatsoever, then please let me know that, because I'm trying to think of ways that I can help. That's what I do, obviously I do kind of, at the moment I have the 12-week complete support package, but I realise that it's not for everybody, but everybody can access that. And so I'm trying to think of ways, that can help. I do have sort of like the introductory package, which obviously is sort of like more of a self-help kind of package, where it kind of, you can access various different sort of like self-help tools, and there's a kind of like a 31-day planner which guides you to doing various things. But it's very much along the lines of self-help and guided sort of like help for yourself. And I know that doesn't suit everybody. I know that, some people have said, yeah, but I won't have kind of like the motivation in order to see that through, which again, I completely understand. So I guess my kind of whole thinking about this group online program is to try and put something in the middle, to try and give, the people that can't do the 12-week complete support package and don't really think that the self-help kind of introductory package is right for them. I'm trying to think of like a halfway house, basically, to sort of like something in the middle that maybe, that would, you would like to access. So that's my thinking around it. So if you could let me know about that whether that seems okay for you, whether that seems like possible, whether you'd be interested in something like that, even if it's like, well, yeah, that sounds good, but I'd like to know more. It's not a set in stone. I'm not going to hold you to anything if you say, yes, I've got an interest in this. Of course not. So yeah, but alternatively, if you have an idea of, the kind of, oh, hi Sally, nice to have you on. If you have an idea of, the kind of thing that you would like, the kind of help that you would like, that you think would benefit you, whether it's one, sort of like, if it's, I don't know, some sort of one-to-one, whether it's group, whether it's sort of like self-help, have a think about what would benefit you. If you're sat there And maybe you've got some support already. Maybe you know, but it's not quite doing it for you, you know. Maybe you're still struggling, but you carried on with this, and that's absolutely fine. But maybe there's something else that you think, oh, I wish my sort of like my therapist, my doctor, my whoever it is that you're working with, or even if you're not working with anybody, at the moment, have a real think about it. What do you think? I knew that my difficulty, I guess, was trying to, apart from absolutely everything else, was that sort of like whole, if I tried to do something different, it would, if I tried to eat a little bit more, I'd always end up binging, and that became a really sort of like, that became very more unsafe. Sorry, my grammar's terrible today. But that became worse. And so I needed to kind of feel supported in that. I didn't want weekly sessions, because I thought, if I go to a weekly session and it's like 1 hour a week, and then I've got the whole week to kind of like face alone. And that's why I do the complete support package, because it's kind of like my alternative to residential, I guess. It's far more than outreach. It's something that's there for you all the time, and I think that's why I love it so much, and my clients love it so much, because they feel like I'm holding their hand every step of the way. But I know that it's not for everybody. So if there's something that you're really struggling with and you think, this is what I need help with, I don't need that, but I need this, let me know. Let's jump on a phone call, phone me, email me, whatever, message me, put it on the group. Just let me know, and I can try to kind of like create something especially for you. I don't, it's not a case of I treat every person, sort of like as standard, because I know we have, we're all individuals and we all need different things, and that's what I try to do. So let me know what I can help you with. Okay, Sally, you're saying, oh, sorry, this is son. I need help to help my daughter. She's an inpatient at an ED hospital. Okay, Sally, how's she getting on there? Is she sort of like, has she just started there? Is she kind of like coming to the end? Whereabouts are you as well? Let me know that. I know, because I went into residential myself, and although, and I'm not saying that she's going to be the same, but I know that I came out of residential, and yes, I kind of got to a more kind of like healthy, acceptable weight, but my root causes, the reasons why I used anorexia or bulimia in the first place was still very much there. So I came out, I was bigger, and and I still had that same kind of urge, and I say urge, but I say that lightly, that huge desperation, to kind of to go back to old behaviours, to that kind of like I was used to make me feel safe and in control. So it's really hard to kind of like to fight against that. And I know what it's like, you can relearn to eat, and but like what happened to me is I very much went from restricted with the anorexia, then I really kind of like relearned to eat. But then it became more about bulimia. I ate, but then I wanted to get rid of it. And I find this a lot, that, people with eating disorders, they can go from one to another. Or then if the root cause isn't dealt with, they can then go to another addiction. So they could use more alcohol or drugs or various other things. So that's important to be aware of. So for me, it's not about, and Sally, I don't know when you came on, but I was talking about, sort of getting to, I don't necessarily, because I know that you know, when you say, oh, I'm going to help you with eating disorder and I'm going to help you recover, etc., that's really scary. But that's not what I don't deal with that side of it. I don't deal with the symptoms as such. I deal with the root cause, or the kind of like the negative mindset, the way that you feel about yourself, you know, your negative beliefs about yourself. Because once that happens, once you kind of feel better about yourself, once you haven't got those negative beliefs about yourself, then you can kind of like, you can let these, you know, these behaviours go naturally. You know, you don't have the same kind of like urge, desire, desperation to hold on to them, because you feel totally safe, totally in control, exactly as you are. And that is what sets you free, you know, and that what means that you are relaxed, you are confident, you are positive. You know, you don't have to kind of like even keep, you know, regimented about your meal plans or your BMI or all this checking and stuff. You know, it's not about managing everything, you know, and keeping everything sort of safe and stuff like that. It's about being free, genuinely free about this. Okay, she's been there about, oh gosh, here we go, 5 weeks. She's just, 16 root causes are just coming out. So where are, yeah, okay. Yeah, well, I'm glad to hear that her root causes are being addressed, and I hope that that kind of continues. You know, I work with a, I don't do talking therapy, I do what's called EFT, Emotional Freedom Techniques, or also known as tapping. And the brilliance that I find about it is that I find you can talk about things for hours, you know, and because they're in your conscious brain, you know, it can take a lot of working through, which can be soul destroying. You know, you have a traumatic event and you've got to talk it to death until, you know, you start to feel better. That's not the way that I work. I use something called EFT, Emotional Freedom Techniques, or tapping, and we basically work on a memory, and you can use it as a self-help tool to help you sort of like with your symptoms, how you're feeling right now. But ultimately I use it to get rid of negative beliefs, past events that are supporting those beliefs, the reason why you feel so negative about yourself. And I had a client come yesterday, and she was having difficulties, and in, you know, a very limited space of time, we work through a yes, it is similar to EMDR, but the thing with EMDR is that you have to work totally with a practitioner, and I think that's right. But EFT, you could also use it as a self-help tool in between sessions as well. So it's not all about the sessions. You can use it to help yourself as well. Yeah, but in a relatively short space of time, in just one session, we had, you know, she felt totally different about this memory that had defined her and defined her whole life. And, you know, and I think that's amazing. It's incredible how quickly things can shift. And that's what I love about it, you know. It's pretty painless, you know, and there's really safe and gentle ways of getting rid of this stuff. And I just love it. I love the transformations that take place in a relatively short space of time. So Sally, if, you know, I wish you all the best with your daughter, and I really hope that you know, that she's getting the real support to deal with that root issues. But, you know, if when she comes out, if you think that she'd like some more support, if she needs more help kind of like with that, then please just get in touch, you know, and we can chat about it. And even if it's just about a discussion to see if it's right for her, because I know it's not right for everybody, and, you know, and the thing is that, you know, EFT can sound a bit wacky and everything, and I know that because I thought it was totally wacky when I first came across it. And it wasn't until I tried it that I realised how powerful and that it was, and how brilliant it can and kind of like help and you know, and I have to say, EFT is what changed my whole life. You know, if I was to say one thing, it would be the EFT, and that's why I'm so passionate about it. You know, that's why I work in the way that I work with my clients, because I 100% believe in it. And the only thing that kind of like, you know, the only person that can kind of like hold you back with this, the only person, you know, I mean, I've worked with loads and loads of clients for various different things, not just eating disorders, but with anxiety, with phobias, drug and alcohol addiction, you know, dyslexia in children. And the only difference that I see is the ones that are ready for this, the ones that are ready to kind of, you know, let go of their stuff. And the great thing about EFT is that if you are aware of the reasons why, you know, we can even work on that. You know, we can work on those blocks, and which I think is brilliant. You know, because you know, you have sort of like anxieties about letting go, you know, and it's usually around fear, and like I said earlier on in the video, it's about kind of like losing that identity, you know, losing your best friend. It can feel like, you know, you're losing a best friend in this, because that's kind of like Anna was your best friend at the start, you know, and I get all of that. But that's what we can also work on, which is, you know, which I think is amazing. So I'm gonna leave you there. I hope you have a lovely, as I said at the start of this video, the sun is gorgeous here today, and I hope the sun is shining on you too, because it does make you feel so much better. But yeah, Sally, I wish you all the best, and your daughter obviously, but you know, and even, you know, please just give me a call or email me, or, you know, and it's kim@kissgoodbye-to-Anna, all one word, Anna, A-N-A, .com, and you know, we can just have a chat. Yeah, it'd be great to hear from you. Thanks very much for joining me. Stacey, I saw that you were on earlier, and you said that anxiety sucks. It sure does. It really does. But yeah, and but I can, you know, if you want me to, I can help you with all of that. But again, think about, you know, if the one-to-one complete support isn't right for you, for one reason or another, I'm thinking about the online group program, so have a think about that, whether it would be right for you. Let me know if that sounds like something you could be interested in. Or alternatively, just let me know what else it is that I could offer that would feel right for you. Because I'm always looking to find ways of, you know, I really want to help you. I know how crappy it is, and I know it can feel like there's no way out, and you don't know how the heck to get out. Even if you want to get out, you know, there's this whole kind of conflict going on in your head. You know, all the voices that are driving you crackers. I know all that, and I can help with that. So I just, you know, I'm kind of reaching my hand out to you now, saying, you know, give it a try. But you need to kind of give me your hand in return. You know, it needs to be a joint thing, this. And I can walk with you on your journey, kind of walking alongside you, holding your hand, but you need to walk with me too. You know, I haven't got any magic wands, I can't fix you, but I can really, really help you. And, you know, you can do this. But that's your choice. I know it doesn't feel like much of a choice, but it is very much a choice. So I'll leave you with that. Have a lovely, lovely Thursday, and lots of love, and I'll speak to you soon. All right, take care. Bye. Any questions, just put them in the comments or message me, whatever. Okay, it'd be great to hear from you. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.